How to stop alcohol cravings. How to stop your craving for alcohol. After quitting drinking, alcohol cravings can be really, really intense. They can come and go. It's basically, a lot of it's in your head, a lot of it you're just thinking and imagining a situation in the bar, you're imagining being with your friends, you're imagining being with the alcohol, you're imagining the alcohol in your head. A lot of it's in your head. To a certain degree, what you can do is go around and clean out your house. This is what you should be doing anyway. And first of all, when you try to stop drinking, first of all, what you need to do is rid the house of alcohol completely. Take all the alcohol from out the house. Don't have anybody drinking around you. Don't go anywhere where drinking is. Don't go to the places where you used to drink. These are the first things that you should be doing after you stop drinking anyway, to basically minimise on the cravings. These are all the physical things that can make you crave it, you know, the stuff that's around you and the people and the influences. Because a lot of it, it's your environment that you're around until you actually forget about thinking about alcohol. Like, it just day by day by day by day by day, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier. And these fleeting thoughts of having a drink just come very few and far between in the end. Like, months apart, they'll come for 10 minutes and that's it. Is in my case, you know, and not even that, really. First of all, you need to basically just make your environment alcohol-free, everything about it. So, and what I suggest also is, if you check out my video on alcohol detox, go through the whole detox process first. Do all this first, then consider stopping drinking and do it right. Clean your body completely free of alcohol. So anyway, you've stopped drinking now, you're looking to try and stop the cravings. It's all in your head, it's all imagination, it's all what you think that you need. It's pulling you there. It's not physically pulling you there. You've got rid of the physical point, it's just in your head now. Yeah, and I advise obviously staying away from pubs and places that serve alcohol, all the obvious things, all the obvious situations that you don't want to be in if you're an alcoholic, or if you're stopping drinking. Not necessarily an alcoholic, you just don't want to drink anymore. To stop cravings, there's been a lot of studies into this. It's been proven by a lot of scientists and doctors that this does work, that part of the craving for alcohol is craving for calories and craving for food itself. But you put this imagination in your head that it's actually the alcohol that you're craving for. It's not necessarily the alcohol that you're craving for, it's necessarily the calories, the instant intake of the calories that's in the alcohol. Yes, you are addicted to alcohol, yes, I understand all that, but just hear me out. It's about the calories in the actual alcohol. So if you actually eat a lot of food at that point, and you eat lots of food at the point where you have a craving, afterwards, and have, say, a coffee afterwards or a cup of tea or whatever your drink is, non-alcoholic drink obviously, after you've had something to eat, the craving either goes or it's not as strong. For me, it completely goes, and I always think, wow, I can't believe I was actually contemplating having a drink there. You sort of get the satisfaction off the eating the food, if you know what I mean. There has been a lot of studies into that. I was told that many times before, I never actually tried it, but I do that a lot now. What you need to try and do is maintain a good diet, a good daily diet every single day. So at 5, 6 o'clock on a night, every night, you have your meal of the day. Have it to the point where you don't have loads of hours left over hanging around before you go to sleep. So you have it 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Fill yourself up at that point so you're content. Then sit down, watch movies, watch whatever you want to do whatever you have to do to get yourself through the night to go to sleep. It's just about getting yourself through these first few months. That's what it's all about. And honestly, week by week, the cravings diminish in it, and the actual want for alcohol diminishes and diminishes further and further and further the more you go on. So it's not like you have to sit there and eat food every night and have this. It's not that you're going to be sitting there watching movies every night and being bored every night for the rest of your life. This is what you have to do, and it's mundane. It's about doing it to the point of where you actually get rid of your addiction, and you get rid of the actual thinking about alcohol all the time. I used to think about it all of the time. You hear people talking about being addicted to crystal meth and stuff like this, the drug crystal meth. And I heard a woman talking about it and said she's been cleaning up crystal meth for nearly 11 years. She's thought about it every single day for 11 years. She thinks about it constantly all the time. That is not like me. That's not like an alcoholic does. It doesn't happen. It doesn't necessarily happen like that. Over time, it diminishes and diminishes and diminishes. Well, in the experiences that I've had and the people who I know, that's what they've all said, and that's the consensus. I'm not saying it's easy when the cravings do come back, but this is what this is all about, to try and stop the cravings, obviously. They're all just hints and tips on what you can do and what people do. Eat lots of food. Make sure you have a healthy diet every single day. You don't have to eat like an athlete. You don't have to eat perfect like a vegan. You don't have to do whatever. You just have to eat a nice, complete diet. But I advise to eat as healthy as you possibly can. The healthier you eat, the better you feel. Trust me, it does work. It's like not drinking, you feel better, you feel a hell of a lot better. You don't think you can, but you don't think you will, but you do. You feel amazing compared to what you did feel like. But you don't think you can because you're drunk all the time and you think you need to get into the situation to make you feel like this. It's an ongoing cycle. It's an ongoing brain tease. Try to think of all the bad things that actually happen at the end of your drinking. You're lying on the floor covered in your own urine, or the massive addiction you have every morning when you wake up, that pull towards the alcohol. That think about that bit. Think about the pain in your stomach every morning when you're being sick. I know what you probably get is a vision in your head of alcohol. You get a vision of you sat at the bar, you get a vision of you sat next to the pool on holiday or whatever, or you get a vision of you talking to your friends. Always for me it was a vision of talking with my mates, that's what it always was, or being in a band, or being in a social situation. Just talking in a social situation, that was my thoughts all the time. So I'd always think about, the worst points of my drinking. If I have an impulse to have a drink, I'll think about all the worst points, about being locked up in a police cell, or being, found asleep in in a field, or wherever I was found. I found all over the place, wherever it was, in the back of a car drunk, wherever it was. Many, many places I was found. Think about all them points when it comes to the point of you thinking about drinking, and you think about the good times. When you're thinking about them good times, start putting these in place of them good times, because that's what's going to happen at the end. So think about all the bad points. I know it's hard to face up to, but yeah, you've obviously done some bad stuff when you've been drinking. Think about them, not the great parts. That'll get you through a little bit more. If you drive a car, I always find driving helps. Driving for a long distance until you get rid of that craving. It normally only lasts for 10-20 minutes. It doesn't last for very long. Just drive a certain distance. I used to drive about 10 miles, then drive back 15 kilometres. I used to drive 10 miles, 15 kilometres, something like that. That's what I used to drive every day. If I had this craving, or get somebody to drive you, or I used to go walking. I used to walk. Well, when I was drinking, I used to walk for miles, but just go walking all the time. Just walk a good half an hour, get yourself back, get something to eat, sit down. You'll feel a whole lot different than what you did half an hour ago, an hour ago. The hardest point about getting past these impulses and these cravings and all this, it doesn't last that long. So if you just manage to get past these points, that's what you need to do. And every day is another day gained of being sober. It's another day easier. It just gets easier and easier and easier. So the more you fight past these little bits, them little bits become smaller and smaller. And everything just becomes smaller and smaller, and the cravings become smaller. The only thing that's getting longer and longer and longer is the time that you haven't had a drink. And you feel prouder and prouder and prouder about the fact of you haven't had a drink. Try reading. I used to read all the time, read books or listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks are like a big new thing with audiobooks. They're really cheap. You can get a subscription to an audiobook for hundreds of thousands of books for less than $5, $10 a month. I think back when I was a kid, 14, they only had about one or two audiobooks. It was The Lord of the Rings or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and they were on cassette tape. There's a lot of audiobooks out there you can listen to. There's a load of books out there. The Martian, listen to The Martian, audiobook. The Martian, brilliant audiobook. That's if you're into science and engineering and stuff like that. It makes you think like, you're actually there. It's like a guy who's on Mars. He's trying to survive. It's good. Listen to it. Audiobook. And what I do every single day, and I have done since I've stopped drinking, exercise. Even if you get a gym pass, if you get this craving, go to the gym at that point if you can. My job, I can go to the gym when I want to go to the gym if I get a craving, but I know some people can't. But you're at work anyway, so you can't necessarily drink anyway, if you understand what I mean. But after work, go and train it out, go and run it out. You'll find after you've trained that you won't want to have a drink, or you'll think it's a waste of time and pointless to have a drink, considering you've put all that effort into doing all that work at the gym. That's what I think every time I come out. I can't believe I thought I was going to have a drink. Or you just go to the gym, exercise, go and play badminton, go bowling, go and do whatever you do, whatever you think. But I suggest doing things that like cardiovascular, things that make your body move, and you start getting. If you've ever been to the gym, you sort of get a buzz after coming out of the gym, after doing something, you get like a nice feeling that sort of gets rid of the bad feeling you have from alcohol. But I know going to the gym and going doing sports and all this isn't for everybody, but just taking a walk, just going outside for 20 minutes, everybody can go outside for 20 minutes and, unless you're in jail or, I don't know. But everybody's there's certain things you can do, Get outside, breathe a bit of fresh air, move around a little, throw a ball around, kick a ball about, do something, whatever it is you have to do. Type, go on the internet, watch films, watch movies at this point. When you get to these points and you're forcing yourself to go to the gym and you're doing all these things, you don't necessarily want to do it. You just have to do it. You just make yourself do it. And once you make yourself do it and you feel better afterwards, it's like the eating thing when I suggest eating food at the start, eating lots of food. When it gets to the point of you have a craving, just eat something because it's normally for the calories. You normally think you need the calories. Yeah, that was a big one for me, trying to force myself to eat. But I knew if I ate something, then I wouldn't feel the craving anymore. What I mean by forcing myself into eating, it was because I didn't think I was hungry, that sort of thing. It's like going to the gym as well. It's really hard to go to the gym if you don't like going to the gym. But what it does, what purpose it serves, is the purpose of getting rid of the craving. Would you rather sit and suffer with the craving or get rid of it? Or it's like putting your mind to doing something else. You're trying to do something else to actually stop yourself thinking about drinking. Like I say, exercise, try reading, stuff like that. Think of all the good times, the feelings you've had so far. Don't get blinded, don't be thinking, I can start drinking again. If you've only stopped drinking for a week or 2 weeks, don't be. Just think of the good things that can happen. And that will happen. Trust me, they will happen. Better things will happen to you when you're sober, as opposed to when you were drunk. A lot more opportunities will open up for you. You'll be able to articulate yourself better. You'll be able to go out there and function in society like a normal human being. It becomes a lot easier. You enjoy going out. You enjoy stepping out into the world. Make yourself a nice meal every day. You should have the money to do it because of the fact of you're not spending that money on drink. So you got that tiny little bit extra more money that you weren't spending on alcohol. Use that to make yourself nice food, have nice things, just to get you through these next few weeks while you're abstaining from alcohol. Because, like I've been saying before, and I've said in previous times, the first week is the hardest. The second week gets easier. Third week easier. Every week it gets easier. This thing's called pulse points. You hold certain pulse points on your body and you think of happy things, and this is supposed to stop you from drinking. It's supposed to stop you from thinking of drinking and stuff like that while you have that 10-minute craving or that half an hour craving, 20-minute craving. You're supposed to hold certain points on your wrist and on your legs and on your certain parts of your body. You're supposed to hold these pulse points. These pulse points, just look it up on Google. I don't really know much about that sort of stuff, but that's supposed to help. The environment you're in, the people that you're around, you have to change your environment while you're stopping drinking, or forever, whatever you want to do. You have to stop the alcohol environment. Change your environment, change the people you're around. That stops the cravings happening. Don't be around people who are drunk. Try not to be around people who are drunk. And try to be away from the old environment where you used to be when you used to get drunk. The further removed from your old ways and the old places you used to be, the better. The easier it becomes. And you find if you walk back into them situations like a year or whatever down the line, how many months down the line, you think, wow, did I really want to be here? Listening to them talking like this and listening to this. You seem like you're above it all. But that's my opinion. Like when you have these cravings, you should just imagine yourself in a better situation. Try to imagine yourself not with a bottle, imagine something else. Just try and forget about it completely. It's really hard to do. There's not really anything definitive I can actually tell you what to do to stop your cravings, but the whole idea about stopping drinking and stuff is regaining your willpower. And your willpower is you have to force yourself against it. And the more you force against it, the less it comes back and the weaker it comes back. It's not as strong anymore. If you can manage to go through so many weeks of doing it, it comes and goes. You ask anybody who's stopped for many years, who still get cravings, it will just come and go. It's a matter of battling it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, putting everything you've got into battling it, or forgetting that it's there, or using any of the tricks that anybody ever tells you. Whatever suits you, whatever works for you. The only thing that works for you, and will work for you to stop your cravings, is whatever you make up, put in place of them cravings at that time. Whether it's crossing your fingers, jumping on one foot for 10 minutes. People do that. People stand there and jump on one foot for 10 minutes until they're absolutely knackered and they don't want to drink. People go for a run. People go to the gym. People go climbing. One of the biggest things I suggest you do is if you stop drinking and stuff, try and get your fitness back, try and go to the gym, try and go to some sort of CrossFit or some kind of exercise. There's lots of amazing places to go and get fit, and once you start getting fit and your body starts working with you, and you start working with your body and your mind, everything becomes a lot clearer, everything becomes a lot better. So my biggest tip would be control your own mind and your own feelings and what you actually want to do. You know when you wake up in the morning you don't want to have a drink, so therefore when you get the craving, don't have a drink. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter what excuse you come up with in your head to justify the fact you're going to have a drink, afterwards you'll regret it. It's as simple as that. So you initially don't have the drink. You don't, when you think about it, yes, you think about things all the time. Many people think about things. It's only human to think about things, but it's actually reacting on your thoughts. That's what differentiates you as an adult. People have horrific thoughts, but don't follow them out. you know, it's some people may want to drink all the time. What I'm trying to get at, it's all in your head. Everybody and every alcoholic will tell you, once you stop the physical addiction, the rest of it is just in your head. And you have to stop yourself from thinking about it all the time. And even if you do walk into a pub and you're sat there thinking about it every single minute when you're in a pub, then you shouldn't be in that pub. If you can't go into a bar without thinking about alcohol every second, then you shouldn't be in that bar. You should not be in a place like that until you've completely conquered your craving for alcohol. You know, watching movies, sitting in the house, watching movies, going to quizzes, playing quizzes online. Make sure you have really good cushions for your bed. Make sure you have really good pillows for your bed. Make sure you have really good sheets and duvets and stuff to lie with, and lie in your favourite position. Make sure you get real good comfort when you go to bed. Even if it's watching TV in bed or whatever you're doing, make sure that bit, because you haven't slept well for years and years and years, and you start to realise what real sleep is, and make yourself as comfortable as possible, because hopefully you will probably start dreaming again more and more. That normally happens to people who stop drinking. You start dreaming a hell of a lot. You start dreaming a lot more. Just try your best not to think about the situation that you're in, and try your best not to think about the fact of you're trying not to drink. Watch movies and get so try and get yourself involved in the movie for that hour, for that 2 hours, for them 3 hours, for them days. So you're only involved in certain things. You won't think about the drink because you're too busy watching, I don't know, your favourite film or your favourite trilogy or The Godfather Part 1, 2 and 3, or whatever it is you enjoy watching. For me personally, it was getting in the car and driving, for long distances, or walking for a couple of miles, a couple of kilometres. And by the time I got back, I didn't want to have a drink. That was it for me anyway. So that was it, guys. How to stop your alcohol cravings. Some little hints and tips on what I used to do. Please, guys, if you have any ideas or you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below so people can read them. Please just feel free to put as many in as you possibly can. Let everybody know what you do or what you have done in the past. If you don't drink anymore and you have managed to conquer your cravings, please leave it in the comments below. Tell other people so they can try your methods. We need to know everyone's methods. The idea is just to share all the information as much as possible. So that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Please share this video. Please subscribe to support the channel, and we'll see you next time.